Hi everyone, Marie Claire here. I am one of the solutions consultants that works at Lightspeed. I specialize on the integration between NuORDER by Lightspeed and our point of sale solution. And today we are going to be covering that integration live in action, seeing the connection between brand and our merchants and how they come together in the network, both to provide cleanliness of data, streamlined solutions, and hopefully a ton of time savings when you see how all of the products and POs blend into the system automatically. So I'm going to come in and share my screen, and we're going to start in NuORDER in the marketplace. This is where I'm going to come to connect with brands, browse through products, and ultimately find what suits my vibe, my aesthetic, really what's going to excite my customers in terms of what I sell. In this case, I want to come in and shop through one of the existing brands that I am connected with already. And from here, it's going to bring me to their virtual showroom. It's designed exactly like a website, which is a really clean experience, which everyone is used to shopping online for. So I can effectively scroll through. Each of these would be custom designed by the brands themselves so that they all have a bit of their own flair. I'm going to come in and I'm going to order some shoes. And once I'm here, it's going to summarize all of the different products that are available for me to bring into my store that I can create a purchase order off of. In order to streamline this a bit better, I can pop through onto the left side of the screen where I can utilize those filters to really fine tune my search. Or if I'm feeling a little bit questionable in regards to what I'd like to bring in from this brand, we have also recently added a summary of what the top selling products are by this brand within the United States so that you can rest assured that these products move and as soon as you bring them into your store. I already know what I'd like to buy. I'm going to pop in and purchase some of these shoes. And I'm going to go ahead and create a nice quick purchase order here. I'll go ahead and add these to my order. And conveniently, as per the online shopping experience, I can click in to view my cart and finalize this purchase. First and foremost, it's going to create a summary for me so that I can make sure that this looks correct. We'll go ahead and proceed to our next screen here, where it's going to ask for me to select my shipping options, finalize any details, and then I can go ahead and submit this order. Now that this order is submitted, it is stored nice and safely within my NuORDER account. However, I have also made a connection between NuORDER and my Lightspeed point of sale solution within the apps setting in the back office, where I now have this connection built. Because I'm now connected and these two apps are speaking to each other, I can pop into my inventory tab here and I have a dedicated PO sync tab. This dedicated tab is a live connection back to NuORDER. So all of the orders and the POs that I have placed within this area are syncing back in real time. Things that I always like to highlight. We have the status, which is pulled from NuORDER. So I can ultimately track that from within Lightspeed, so I don't have to go back and forth between the two applications to track when things are being picked and packed, shipped, received, so on and so forth. I can also pop in and click on the caret here, and that will populate which items are a part of this purchase order. And I could drill down even further to see the variants that are a part of this purchase order. Now, once I'm ready to receive this product, I'm going to come in and click the import button. What this import button is doing is it's going to bring in all of the product data associated with that product, images, descriptions, costs, price. We'll run through that shortly so you can see it. It's also going to bring in the PO exactly as I placed it within NuORDER. So essentially the copy pasting that typically takes place is no more. There's no more duplication of POs. All we're going to do is assign it to this location where I'll be able to save that. And then once it's at my door, I can conveniently click in to view this order and nice and quickly come in to receive it. These are the standard receiving flows that happen within Lightspeed. So I could come in, count either by barcode scanning, or I could quickly say that I'm receiving everything here in the correct sizes and go through the receiving process to finalize. Now that my order has been received, I have now brought in those inventory values, which are going to update onto the product page specifically. which we can click into now. So I'm going to head into my local catalog within my Lightspeed point of sale. From here, I can search for the product that I'd like, and here it is. I'll click into edit the product, and this is exactly how it ported over from NuORDER, because this is how the information was stored there. It's going to bring in the name of the item, attach the branding information, the description, which is put up by the supplier. It will bring over all images here for me. And as I continue to scroll through, attaching supplier information, such as supplier price, aka cost. And then we'll continue scrolling through where it will provide the MSRP price for me, of which I can still override if I need to. We'll continue scrolling down, and it's going to bring in all the variants. If I'd ordered more colors, it would have added them here for me also, all of which get updated on the next purchase order. Now that you've seen how the product comes in, we've saved a ton of time in terms of that creation because it was automatically created for me. I can come into my sell screen and do all of the sales that I need to do here, where I can ring up the shoe that I'd like to purchase in the correct color and go ahead and make this sale. After a couple of months go by, I've made numerous sales of this product. We can pop into the reporting section within Lightspeed, which I have pre-populated on a separate tab here. And we've recreated these reports in regards in accordance with the brands that I'm connected to on NuORDER. How I suggest setting this up is I can come in and create custom reports. And typically how reporting typically functions is that you can always see into the past with your sales reports. Inventory reports are current, modern, in the now. And then we now have introduced forecasting, which allows our customers to see into the future. So with this, when I generate these reports, it's asking how far into the future would I like to see? Well, in this case, I could customize that to 4 months. It could even be 5 months if I like. However frequently you'd like to do your replenishment buying. We'll click in next, and I can either include or exclude missed sales. This is effectively, if I've run out, we'll still keep in mind the sales velocity at which you sell these products, which we can either include or exclude in terms of these estimations. I would add in my specific brand or my supplier here. I can include or exclude certain promotions. Do I ship directly to my store? If so, which one? Or do I send to a warehouse and distribute from there? Both options that we can manage for you. And then I finally would go ahead and name that report. The reason I recommend doing this is now because we can have each report along the top here, and I can go from brand to brand to brand really quickly doing my replenishment buying based off of the report that's here. So as we scroll down, you'll be able to see I have all of my products here, and I can see into the next 4 months available. We've put forward a suggested quantity of what you need to sustain you over the next 6 months for this product. So if I come in and I take a look at the size 35.5, I need 38 of these to carry me through until the end, just past the end of the year. Now, most of the time, people don't have this information when they do their replenishment buying. They're shooting in the dark a little bit. So what we are doing is providing you with the most amount of information, taking seasonality into account, how much you'll need for the most accurate purchasing. Now, most of the time, people don't have this information, so they're guessing. Well, maybe I'm going to order 50 because I actually don't know the velocity particularly well of this product if I don't have this intel. Well, now I've overordered by 12. What am I going to have to do with those 12 at the end of the season if they don't move? I'll have to sell them at a discount, therefore cutting directly into my profits. Now, on the inverse, I still don't have this information, so I'm going to say I'm going to order 20. Well, now I'm 18 short, and it's very difficult to bring in revenue into my business if I don't have the products available. And then I have to go through the replen buying process, or I have to ship directly to this customer or send them to a competitor. So in this instance, this is the most accurate way that we can provide for you to buy based off of need within your space. Now, what I can really quickly do is create a purchase order very fast, seeing that I need to size up in all of these. I'm going to go ahead and create this purchase order, select the location, And what this is going to do is put together a mock-up of the purchase order for me based off of the suggested quantities that are put forward here. Now, I could always come in and override these if I need to. Maybe I know I have an event coming next month, so I could up that if I need to. Or I could go ahead and put that lower. Whatever you need, the malleability is still yours, but the suggestions are there for you to take. I'm going to go ahead and add these products to a purchase order, and then I'll be able to come in and view this purchase order here. From here, I can keep adding products to this purchase order if I need to. It's still in a very flexible state. Otherwise, once I'm ready to send it back to my brand on NuORDER, I'll click into my orders tab and I'll be able to find that purchase order and send it directly back to NuORDER so that my supplier can receive it. I have a lot of purchase orders. Give us a moment to load those. There we go. Perfect. So here is my order. I can come and send it back to NuORDER from here, which my supplier will get, where they can pick and pack and send it back to me. Hopefully that painted a really nice, clear picture of what the integration between the two softwares look like. If there are any additional questions, your product specialist would be happy to provide some intel. Otherwise, our services are always at your disposal should you need for us to join in on any of those calls. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to keeping conversations going. Have a great day.